Greetings and a warm welcome to this Autism and Travel course. I am a proud mother, the mother of David, who is an autistic boy. My name is Eleonora Redaelli, and I've always loved to travel, and organizing trips has been my passion for as long as I can remember. I decided to create this course specifically to merge my travel organization experiences with the ABA behavioral techniques I've acquired and used with my son over all these years. If you are watching this video, it means you have an autistic son or daughter, or perhaps a grandchild, a student, or an acquaintance. In short, you want to do something so that your loved one can join you on trips or vacations peacefully. We know that our autistic children are creatures of habit, and maybe you've experienced that even a small deviation from a familiar route, like returning from kindergarten, school, or a sports activity, for example. In short, you must have surely found yourself facing apocalyptic scenes. As far as I'm concerned, taking a detour would send David into a tailspin. It was a daily occurrence, and the problem was that I couldn't explain the reasons for his discontinuous and bizarre oddities that had absolutely no logic. So at that point, I thought the best thing to do was to avoid taking detours whenever I could. But avoiding was certainly not the right solution, because you can't just keep doing the same things. Staying at home with your child because you don't know how to handle his behaviors, or because the critical looks from others bother you for how he behaves, or because you can't manage the situation yourself. Then the solution came somewhat naturally. At 2.5 years old, my son was diagnosed and everything changed, but not for the worse, because until I became aware of my son's autism, there was nothing I could do to help him. The fact is that when we are unaware, we don't know what to do. But when we know, when we understand, then we can do something, we can intervene. And we immediately intervened with ABA behavioral therapy and realized we were on the right track from the very first day. It wasn't enough for me that he had daily therapy at home and at kindergarten. I also wanted to understand how my son's mind worked by attending courses on the subject for teachers or behavioral therapists. Fortunately, all the courses I found were always open to parents. Even though it's true that autistic children are all different, you know how they say if you've met one autistic child, well, you've met one autistic child. Of course it's true, but they obviously have some characteristics in common. And one thing, above all, I've understood is something fundamental that I want to share with you. If in normal circumstances all children need experience to learn, our autistic children need a lot of experience. So one thing I absolutely had to do was increase new experiences with my son and not avoid them. This concept is the foundation of my entire course. It's important for our children to know, to have experiences in their repertoire, and what better way to learn and gain experience than through travel. And by travel, I don't mean going around the world. Moving around your own area is enough to start. And I must say that behavioral therapy has helped us a lot, because it always provided us with the right tools and made me understand that every behavior of my son, even the most bizarre, was always dependent on something else, or was a response to some event that had just happened, to a stimulus that had annoyed him, like me taking a detour, changing the route unexpectedly. Or he was searching for what he knew would come after his behavior. He would scream to get what he wanted, which was for me to resume my original route without deviations. In this course, we work on the antecedent, that is, what happens before the trip or the vacation. You will ensure that your children are prepared for the vacation or the trip by anticipating what they will encounter with images and games. That will help them become familiar with new places, but not only that. We will ensure that once at the destination, your children find the trip enjoyable by using motivating activities that will help them accept spending time in that place. In this course, we will cover various topics which I have divided into 4 sections to make them more easily accessible. In the first section, we will analyze our child's habits, discuss routines, their rigidity, and see how to make them more flexible. We will also talk about a fundamental tool for organizing our children's days and outings. I am referring to the visual schedule, and I will provide materials so you can start creating your own schedules. In the second section, we will learn to observe our children's interests to find the perfect place for the first trip that will serve as a testing ground for us. In the third section, I will provide you with the tools to create games and activities so that your children can become familiar with the new environment and be motivated to set off and explore the destination you have chosen. In the fourth section, we will take an example of a trip or vacation to analyze the various details and see how to make the most of the experiences gained. Each section is divided into 3 different videos, each lasting 10 to 15 minutes. This way, I am sure you will be able to find a quarter of an hour a day to dedicate to this course, and with this division, it will also be easier for you to find the topics when needed. What I ask you is to put my suggestions and advice into practice and prepare a first trial trip. In this way, by the end of the course, you will have completed a trip to consolidate and will have also acquired all the skills needed to continuously create new journeys. It is important to practice during the course to better understand, to test, and to memorize. From time to time, I will assign you fun activities that will guide you in planning your first trial trip. Well, that's all for now. Thank you, and I'll see you in the first video of the course.